Next on First News at 5, we're here at the Illinois State Fair Twilight Parade. The floats, the people, the crowd, there's so much energy. We have Lamphere football and cheer with us right now. We'll have a preview coming up.
The threat of precipitation will not rain on this parade. I'm Joe Crane, live inside the main gate of the Illinois State Fairgrounds. Your State Fair forecast is coming up.
And I'm Liz Foster. A special edition of First News at 5, live from the Illinois State Fair Twilight Parade, starts right now. The threat of rain won't stop this parade. Bands are lining up, politicians are arriving, and we've just received word the Grand Marshal has arrived. Within the hour, the kickoff of the 2013 Illinois State Fair will get underway when the Twilight Parade steps off from Springfield's north end. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to a very special edition of First News at 5. I'm Liz Foster. We're here live at the corner of 9th and North Grand. This is where the Illinois State Fair's Twilight Parade will kick off in just a little bit. Now, the Twilight Parade has always served as the unofficial kickoff to the Illinois State Fair. So if you're at home and you'd like to come and join us down here, let's take a look at the parade route. Again, the parade will begin at 6 o'clock. It starts here at 9th and North Grand and will travel down 9th Street to Peoria Road. From there, it will head north on Peoria Road to 11th Street and right through the fairgrounds in the main gate. Now, here's another incentive to come on out tonight. Admission into the fairgrounds tonight is free. All of the rides are going to be open and offered at a discounted rate, so you definitely don't want to miss that. But believe it or not, there is more going on in Central Illinois tonight besides the Illinois State Fair. So for a look at tonight's headlines, we're going to send it back into the studio really quick to ABC News Channel 20's Chantel Middleton. Chantel?
Hey Liz, thank you so much. A former Illinois Department of Public Health official indicted for allegedly taking $433,000 in kickbacks. Investigators allege that between July 2007 and October 2008, Quinshanta Golden, the former chief of staff for the Illinois Department of Public Health, received kickbacks for the distribution of $13 million of grant and contract money under her direction. Golden is the 13th person to be indicted through a task force investigation into state grant and contract fraud.
The indictment alleges that rather than promoting health for the good people of Illinois, as she was entrusted, she was more concerned about lining her own pockets than those of her associates.
Now, the alleged kickbacks took place while Golden was the top aide to former Director of Public Health Eric Whitaker. Whitaker is a close friend of President Obama. Investigators would not elaborate on if they think Whitaker was involved in or knew about the alleged scheme. In the next few weeks, cameras could be allowed in 6 Eastern Illinois Circuit courts. Published reports indicate judges in the 6th Judicial Circuit Court approved the cameras during a meeting just last week. The 6th Circuit includes Champaign, DeWitt, Douglas, Macon, Moultrie, and Piatt counties. A pilot program was approved 18 months ago, but the state's high court has final say on if the 6th Circuit will be included. High school students in Decatur are practically getting new schools. Here's why. Right now, Eisenhower High School is getting a major renovation. MacArthur High School starts a major renovation project in January. Eisenhower students will attend school at the Stephen Decatur Middle School this fall. Then they'll move into their renovated high school in January. At that time, MacArthur students will move into the middle school. MacArthur's renovations are scheduled for completion by the end of 2014.
The huge thing that has been done is to provide flexibility. There's a lot of classrooms that are large and can be subdivided into smaller ones.
This allows us to be a leader in Central Illinois with regard to the education that we're able to offer our students.
And 2010 residents supported a countywide 1% sales tax increase to renovate the 2 high schools so they would be state-of-the-art facilities. Money from that supports all the schools in Macon County. The price tag for Decatur's 2 projects is $76 million. And now, the ever-popular butter cow has been unveiled for this year's state fair. The bovine beauty is made up of nearly 500 pounds of butter. Similar to past few years, only the portion of the butter cow that is finished was unveiled. It allows fairgoers to watch Sharon Booman complete the sculpture throughout the course of the fair. You can find the butter cow in the dairy building at the state fairgrounds. The theme of this year's Illinois State Fair is where Illinois comes together. And for more on that, let's head back out to ABC News Channel 20's Liz Foster. She is live at the Twilight Parade. Liz, you've got a special guest with you right now.
I sure do. Well, this year's Grand Marshal of the Twilight Parade, he's no stranger to Central Illinois, and we've even featured Dr. Russell Donor in some of our newscasts. Let's tell you a little bit about him. The well-known Rushville doctor is known for charging just $5 for visits. State Fair manager Amy Bleefnick said Dr. Donor fits this year's theme to a T. She said the Illinois State Fair is a place where Illinoisans come together to celebrate the best our state has to offer, whether it's in agriculture or, in Dr. Donor's case, medicine. He's an excellent choice to lead the Twilight Parade and begin our state's premier summer festival. So joining us now is Dr. Donor. Thank you so much for being with us today. Now, just first of all, tell me, what was your reaction to being named this year's parade's Grand Marshal?
Well, it was very much a surprise to me, but I'm certainly do not mind because I like things like this. I always like to go to parades myself. So I think that was fine that I was asked to come to this. And I'm real pleased to be able to be what you've asked me to be.
All right, now we got to talk a little bit about affordable health care. It's been in the news for a while now, the importance it will play in our society for years to come. Talk to us a little bit about what you do in Rushville.
Well, now, way back years and years ago, I decided to become a doctor, and I was born and raised on a farm, and I always decided to become a doctor because there was a doctor when I'd become very ill and have seizures. The doctor was always there, so I always, since I was a little boy, decided I'm going to be a doctor. And so that's gone on from then on till now. And of course I was in the Army after that because of World War II. And when the war was over, I decided I was still going to go into pre-medical work and become a doctor. So I did go to pre-medical. Then I went to Northwestern University Medical School and became a doctor.
And I know everybody in Rushville and Central Illinois is very glad you did. One quick question about the fair. What are you most looking forward to this year about the fair?
About the fair? Just that people understand that what this is all about and how people get along together so well, and as they do. When you have a fair, you understand that people do enjoy each other's company and discuss things that they are used to having done.
Dr. Russell Donor, this year's Grand Marshal of the Twilight Parade, thank you so much for spending a few minutes with us. Enjoy your special moment. All right, so as the fair enters its 160th year, the commitment to excellence and the showcasing agricultural history and arts, fun, you name it, we're all about to get started with this 10-day adventure. But if you're going to come out tonight, you may want to bring an umbrella or even a poncho. Joe Crane, what do you think?
Well, you know, it's never a bad idea, Liz, to just in case on a warm and muggy day like this. We can't rule out a stray shower this evening, but I think most of the rain chances will hold off until well late tonight into early tomorrow morning. Pretty much what you see is what you get now. Cloudy skies, a few peaks of sunshine late this afternoon. The radar shot around central Illinois, we've seen a few spotty showers, maybe a pop-up thunderstorm primarily into east central Illinois and down towards southern Illinois, closer to that frontal boundary that stalled out. Otherwise, our Twilight Parade forecast looking wonderful tonight. Not a lot of sunshine, not too hot, just a little bit muggy. Parade time temperatures in the upper 70s with cloudy skies. Again, we'll see a better chance of some showers and thunderstorms coming up through the overnight hours. The overnight low drops down to about 62. We'll be in the upper 70s at midday, and then we'll continue to see a chance of some scattered showers or thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon with a high of around 80. I'll have the rest of your forecast coming up in just a little bit. Of course, Liz, a great opportunity for folks to come out here to the fairgrounds, grab a spot for the parade coming up at 6 o'clock, or better yet, just stay home and enjoy all of our special coverage right here on ABC News Channel 20. Liz?
Thanks, Joe. And tonight, we're giving you an inside look at the Twilight Parade that you can't get anywhere else. ABC News Channel 20's Natalie Sparacio and our photojournalist, Chris Brooks.
We've come across politicians, gymnasts, golfers, you name it. Coming up, we'll show you all of the unique entries to this year's Twilight Parade. You're watching First News at 5 on ABC News Channel 20.
It's the Green Hyundai Cam. You're watching ABC News Channel 20.
Welcome back back, everybody, to our special coverage of the Illinois State Fair Twilight Parade. The action gets underway at the top of the hour. There's still plenty of time to come down and enjoy the festivities. So let's give you one more look at the parade route. It starts here at 9th and North Grand and will travel down 9th Street to Peoria Road. From there, it will head north on Peoria Road to 11th Street and right through the fairgrounds main gate. Now, joining us now is Lieutenant Governor Sheila Simon. Thank you so much for spending some time with us today.
It's a pleasure. It's always exciting to be at the State Fair.
Okay, so we got to talk about this. We're gearing up for a big election year next year. The chance to rally the base, drum up support. What will the big message be from Democrats?
Well, the big message from Democrats is that we've got a lot of work to do and we are ready to get together and get it done.
Now, last year was quite the show here with unions organizing. They shouted and even booed at Governor Quinn. Do you expect something like that to happen again this year?
I'm not expecting that this year. We've got our challenges, but I think we understand that we really need to pull together. We need to make some hard decisions about pension reform. They're not going to be popular, but they're what we need to do in the state's long-term interest.
And you recently announced that you're going to switch your political ambitions a little bit and run for comptroller next year. So tell us, what qualities do you have that will set you apart from your challenger?
Well, for a long time I have been an advocate for open, transparent government and getting people engaged. And this is a perfect office to do that. Every year I've disclosed my tax returns and a detailed statement about my husband's and my financial interests, our assets, our liabilities. We need to make sure that more public figures are doing that and that kind of transparency takes over and that we assume that public information really does belong to the public and that the public ought to be engaged in discussions about how we spend our state's resources.
Okay, now let's get to some of the fun questions. We're going to call this the lightning round, okay? So I want you to say the first thing that comes to mind.
Okay.
Favorite fair food?
Ooh, corn dog for sure.
What's your must-see at the fair?
Loose Gravel Wednesday afternoon. It's the band I play in.
Okay. One thing you can't leave the fairgrounds without?
Lemon Shake Up.
Oh, good one. Okay, so you just mentioned Loose Gravel Band. Tell us a little bit really quick about the band and again when you guys are going to play.
We'll be playing at the Miller Lite Beer Tent on Wednesday afternoon, I think at 3 or 3:30. It's a group of me and my buddies who have been playing in the band together for I think 12 years now. We're not the finest musicians in the world, but we sure have a great time and we would love to have everyone join us.
Lieutenant Governor Sheila Simon, thank you so much for spending a few minutes and enjoy the fair.
Guaranteed.
All right, now speaking of fun, we're going to go back out to ABC News Channel 20's Natalie Sparosio. She's actually live inside the parade route, checking in with folks. Natalie, who do you have?
We are along the parade route right now, and this parade has become such a tradition for the people of Springfield and all of Illinois. We're here with Ebony, born and raised right here in Springfield for the past 21 years. What does this parade mean to you and your family?
It means a lot because my kids like to come here. They like the candy. They like to see things like they never seen the clowns that's running away from us. No.
They're a little silly with us right now.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part of the parade?
Just everything. Like I see things that I've never seen out here. It's fun to be out here.
Do you guys like it here?
Cool.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part?
What do you like about the parade?
Do you like the candy?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys, have you gotten any yet? Or are you guys getting your bags?
I got a little bit.
All right, and then the fair starts today. It runs till the 18th. What is your favorite part of the fair?
The rides and the food. More the food, though.
The fried food?
Yeah.
Gotta
It'd be
love
good.
that. All right, thank you, Ebony. Thank you, clowns. We appreciate it. We're going to toss it over to Joe Crane. Luckily, the weather has been absolutely gorgeous out here. Hopefully, it stays that way. Our fingers are crossed, Joe.
Hey, no pressure on me, right? Everybody's along the parade route hoping for decent weather to enjoy the festivities this evening. The forecast shaping up to be pretty good for the fairgoers. I'll have all the details in just a moment, but first a look at your almanac numbers for this 8th day of August, where we saw a high of 80 and a low of 68. A little bit cooler than normal today. The rest of your forecast straight ahead on First News at 5. Welcome back Welcome back to our special coverage of the Twilight Parade here on ABC News Channel 20. Storm Team 20 meteorologist Joe Crane live just inside the main gate to the State Fairgrounds. And we've got a great group of people already lined up along the parade route, getting ready for the festivities coming up about 6 o'clock. And these fairgoers look pretty comfortable. It's a little bit muggy out here, but not nearly as hot or humid as has been in years past. And the threat of rain looks to hold off until later tonight. That's certainly good news. Let's check the current numbers around the area. Right now in the capital city, we have have 80 degrees, winds out of the northeast at 5. The barometer is nearly steady at 29.93 inches of mercury. That dew point 70 degrees, and the relative humidity 71%. Elsewhere around the area, temperatures in the upper 70s to low 80s, including right at 80 in Jacksonville. Lincoln, you're at 81. Taylorville now at 77 and 79 in Decatur. Winds generally out of the north-northeast, about 5 to 10 miles per hour. And the dew point's rather sticky in the upper 60s to low 70s, but not quite as humid as it was yesterday. Meantime, the satellite and radar shot showing a few early morning showers out of southern Missouri that weakened as they moved into some drier air aloft. Otherwise, cloudy skies across the state and pretty quiet weather so far. But as we go to the futurecast, that front stalling out to the south, low pressure moving along the boundary will bring chances of rain back into central Illinois later tonight. We'll look for some scattered showers and thunderstorms to develop late tonight and continue to pop up tomorrow before finally diminishing late Friday night. No severe weather expected, but some of the stronger storms could produce locally heavy rains. Now, overall, most locations around the area could pick up between a quarter inch to about a third of an inch of some much needed rain because we're running about 3/4 of an inch below normal for the month of August so far. Our pollen forecast stays in the moderate levels the next few days, with grasses and your common central Illinois weeds the most active pollens. Now our Storm Team 20 forecast is mostly cloudy, muggy this evening. Now while we can't rule out a stray shower, the rain and possible ability of some thunderstorms should hold off until the overnight hours, with the morning low dropping down to 62 degrees. Tomorrow we'll look for some scattered showers and thunderstorms for the first full day of the Illinois State Fair. We'll look for highs right around 80 degrees, just a few degrees below normal for the early to mid part of August. Now our 7-day forecast has the rain chances continuing into tomorrow night, but will diminish well before Saturday morning. The weekend forecast looks excellent for the fair and everything else going on around the area, with abundant sunshine and slightly cooler than normal temperatures for early to mid-August in the lower 80s, with overnight lows in the low to mid-60s, not to mention the lower humidity in general through the extended period. There is a slight chance of a passing shower storm Monday as another weak cold front passes by. Otherwise, plenty of sunshine next week with highs near 80 degrees. Well, again, the Twilight Parade will step off at 6 o'clock. For more on what will be featured in this year's Twilight Parade, let's send it over to ABC News Channel 20's Natalie Sparaccio. Hey there, Natalie.
Joe, we are here with Grace and Taylor. They're both seniors at Southeast High School on the cheerleading team. They've been doing this for 4 years. What does this tradition mean to you?
It's just great to come out here and show everybody the school spirit that we have.
Speaking of school spirit, they're going to do a special cheer for us. What's the name of it?
What's your favorite color, fans?
All right, go ahead and get to it.
Favorite color, fans? Blue, gold, and white. Say it again, loud and proud. Blue, gold, white. What's your favorite color, fans? Blue, gold, and white.
Welcome back, everybody, to a very special edition of First News at 5. The agricultural showcase and family fun adventure that is the Illinois State Fair is just about to get underway. The Twilight Parade will kick off at the top of the hour here on Springfield's North End. And look who just stopped by to join us.
I just happen to be in the neighborhood.
I
so
know.
I figured I'd say hi.
State Comptroller Republican Judy Bartopinka, thank you so much for taking a few minutes. We've got some fun questions for you, but first we'd like to talk about some of these current issues going on at the State House. So you kind of found yourself in the middle of Democrats in the battle for legislative pay and pension reform. Now, you're no stranger to government.
Oh, goodness, no.
So what do you think, in your opinion, is going to be the solution to all of this?
Well, they're going to have to come up with the pension reform situation, but I mean, we really and truly have to get some settlement, because I can foresee where the legislators may lose still a third pay period. This could just go on and on now that the judge has dragged it out. I kind of feel bad for them, because this is not a way to run a government, you know. I mean, this is government by blackmail, and you can't run a government that way. So I like our leaders to lead. This might be a good thing to do right now.
Got it. Now, there are a lot of people who have a stake in pension reform. What's your key to finding some bipartisan support to actually get pension reform passed?
Well, it's really and truly to get everybody in the same room at the same time and try and convey to them the real seriousness of this. I mean, when I'm reading international media and they're picking on Illinois for being at the bottom of the heap on all this and kind of right behind Detroit, I think we better get serious. This is not fun and games anymore. I mean, you better really put your mind to it. And again, our leaders need to lead.
Gearing up for the 2014 election, it's going to be a big year. What do you think the GOP's message is going to be?
Well, I think we're constantly going to be looking at making sure that we don't spend what we don't have. I mean, that is key to everything. I mean, we're in the hole here in the state of Illinois. So quit coming up with new programs. As I told the legislature last year, do not add money to the budget because we don't have the money. And doggone if they didn't add $2 billion worth in perks and those kind of things. This is not the time to do that. If there's ever a time to do that, this certainly is not the time.
Lieutenant Governor Sheila Simon recently announced that she's going to run for your office next year. So going into the election, what do you think you have to offer that your challenger does not?
Well, for one thing, I want to be controller. I haven't really regarded it as a consolation prize for another office. I mean, she wanted to be attorney general, and when that became unavailable, she decided then she's going to run for controller. I don't know that she's listening to some of the things she said. She's trying to twist it, the office in such a way where it becomes kind of like attorney general light. That's not our job. Our job is a fiscal job. We're not a law enforcement office.
Got it. All right. So now the lightning round. Here's the fun part.
Fun part.
I'm going to ask you questions.
Okay.
I want to hear the first thing that comes to your mind.
Yeah.
Favorite fair food?
A pulled pork sandwich.
What's your must-see at the fair?
Must see, you mean? Must see. I have to see the pigs being born. I love the little pigs. Both parties. Both parties.
Okay. What's something you can't leave the fair without?
Probably the ice cream and the shaved ice. It's food. It's food. I'll be a foodie.
Yeah, me too. All right.
Yeah.
State Comptroller
You bet.
Judy Bartavinga, thanks so
one.
much for
You bet.
joining
Bye-bye.
us. All right, everybody, sun is starting to come out here. Don't go away. After the break, we'll check in with Storm Team 20's Joe Crane for one last check of your Illinois State Fair forecast. You're watching a special edition of First News at 5.
Yo! I'm out of here.
All right, they just pulled the barricades away from the main gate, so that means it's only a matter of time before all those State Fair parade entries start making their way onto the fairgrounds just after 6 o'clock. Meantime, we're looking for a warm and muggy night, cloudy skies, but the rain should hold off until after midnight. Some scattered showers or thunderstorms tomorrow with highs around 80 or so. The weekend forecast looks great. Sunshine, lower humidity, and highs in the lower 80s. Well, everyone in here inside the main gate getting ready for all the excitement of the State Fair parade. And that fun comes with the Illinois State Fair, the food and everything else to go along with it. Liz?
Thanks, Joe. Well, that will do it for us here on First News at 5. For Natalie Sparacio and Joe Crane, I'm Liz Foster. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you back here at 6.